Kovan. As you know, and as your network has been reporting, more than 2.5 years since the closure of the Iraq-Turkey pipeline. And I do not have a day that the oil exports will resume, but all sides are continuing the discussions that will lead to written agreements. The companies I represent require written agreements for the sale and payment of oil exports through Ceyhan. Well, I've seen statements in your reporting from senior representatives of SOMO, and they have indicated that they are continuing to talk to KRG and working with the KRG and companies to establish these written agreements. We also saw statements from Prime Minister Mohammed Shia al-Sudani, where he believes that Iraq should be exporting even more oil every day than it currently is. I know that Iraq has a goal of exporting 6 million barrels of oil every day, and it will be very important that oil from Kurdistan region is included in the total amount of oil exported every day. Well, it's not my place to have negotiations in public through the media. But what I can tell you, Kovan, is that the oil companies and the KRG and the Baghdad Ministry of Oil and SOMO are actively working on the written agreements that can lead to the resumption of oil exports. There has been pushes from the United States government and to encourage the Prime Minister of Iraq to have his side work toward written agreements. Well, let me make a couple of things clear. Each company, each separate international oil company will make their decision on if they will resume oil exports. But APIKUR, our position has always been that we need written agreements. Please give me a moment to continue explaining. This export arrangement is new. There is not another place in the world that has the type of contractual relationships in Iraq and Kurdistan region. We have international oil companies that have a contract with the Kurdistan regional government. But the central government in Baghdad is controlling the permissions for exports. And the oil is exported through a pipeline owned by Turkey at the Mediterranean Sea at the port of Ceyhan. So this is a complex arrangement. It is a new arrangement, and it takes time to ensure that there are agreements that protect the contractual rights of the companies and KRG, and we need to have a clear path of payments. Well, you've seen statements. Yeah. Companies are participating individually, but you have seen statements from KRG and you have seen statements from Baghdad that everybody is talking. Our companies want to ensure that they are having their contractual rights protected, and they want to ensure that they have a good commercial model. They need to have a good business strategy for exporting oils. And that is simple. We need to know how and when we will get paid, and we need to ensure that our financial terms of our contracts are honored. This is very simple. Business is the same way all around the world, and we have asked for this publicly, and now the different groups and government are working together for these new types of agreements. You have heard many things from different government officials. You have not heard anything recently from APIKUR because these agreements are not all complete yet. But there is progress, and I will have a full announcement. I will have a full press release, and I will come on to Kurdistan 24 when all agreements are signed and we can celebrate the resumption of oil exports through the Iraq-Turkey pipeline. Each company, as I mentioned before, will make their own decisions related to exporting. Right now, I can tell you that all APIKUR companies are focused on continuing to produce oil for local sales, and APIKUR wants to see the exports through the pipeline reopen. But we also do not want to have a risk of putting oil into the pipeline without a promise for how we would get paid. Nobody would sell a watermelon on the side of the street in Erbil if they did not know how they were going to get paid for selling that watermelon. This is simple business, and because of the complexity between the different groups, Baghdad, Erbil, and Turkey, it takes time. I will simply say that when you hear all sides talking and making statements, this is a sign that they are meeting and working on these agreements. If all sides are quiet, or if sides are starting to make statements pointing the finger and blaming, that's a problem. So right now, there is continued progress and everybody is talking to